Or are we doing all the right things? Are the different roles and facilities in place? Is there a forward surgical team that needs to go somewhere because we're expecting casualties and that's the way we're going to make sure they come home? That's on the operational side. I think on the training side of this, especially in the world we live in now where we're not necessarily deploying to places that are all kinetic, is the doctor resourcing the medics to train themselves, train their teams, and have the resources available to do that. To me, that's a big, not the MEDPROS, but that's the big part of one of his big roles is to make sure like you're carrying the weight of resourcing the guys to be able to get things done. And I do think there's an operational requirement that we have to make sure people know that, here's what you need to be good at. Here's the things that I need to give you to make sure that you can be good at those things. So we relied a lot on the battalion doc to be able to do that. So, and I think, honestly, I think battalion docs need to know that when they come in. Like this is a big part of your role here when you come to a special forces unit, enabling those medics.
The whole idea of the structure of battalion med, the docs, they bring the medical knowledge, but a lot of times, they come from conventional medicine and there's a bit of a language barrier. So you've got a senior medic there who comes from a team. There's a reason it's an E8 slot, but it's usually not filled by an E8. So you've got a guy that can talk to the teams, they can talk to team stuff, and run the trackers and brief the command and all that and advise, and he's going to try and mentor and advise that doc, because at the battalion level, that's the first time you have a provider, a doctor, assigned to the soft unit for SF anyway. So you have that doc there, and then you've got that medic, and sometimes they don't speak entirely the same language. If we're talking medicine, sure, we find that medical terminology a common ground. When we start talking about operational stuff and requirements and tactics, there's a lot lost in translation. That's why we have the PA. PA is often, a former team guy that went to PA school, PA 18 Delta or whatever, and he got to learn some of the medical, how medicine runs in the regular Army, and then he's come back. And so he can be that buffer, kind of like the warrant on the team between the team leader and the team sergeant, that tiebreaker. And so I think there's a lot of potential in the structure and how it's designed. It's implementing and having good people in there. I think that's key. That's the winning ticket right there.
It's always people, right? It's the people. Yeah, and that's a good point. And not all docs maybe understand. They'll learn, but they may not understand when they show up the capabilities of the medic. So I think if they don't come with that knowledge up front, there's some trust that has to be built for him to realize, man, these guys, I don't know what happens at JSON TC, but.
Well, here's a shameless plug. There's a USASOC policy that says within 6 months, any provider in a soft unit needs to go to one of the sustainment courses, skill sustainment courses, and audit. 2-3 weeks, doesn't matter which one, they're required to go there. And that's why we put it in the reg years ago, was to have them come down there and see what their medics go through. At least I know we can't have them go through the multi-month, the year-long training and all that, and that would not be a good use of that physician, but to have them come down for 2-3 weeks and audit and see their medics perform when they're being evaluated, when they're doing their thing. And I think it gives them a better